Alright, so I know these three kind of things are unrelated, but I swear they're all going to be connected, and I figured this would work for Into the Infinityverse. For those wondering what Into the Infinityverse is, Into the Infinityverse is basically a shared fanfiction universe that my friend Jason Voorhees 2011 and I have been working on, albeit slowly because we do have lives and we're not getting paid for this. But we always have ideas and it's always on our mind of what to work on. And today, and basically Into the Infinityverse is basically like a peek behind the corner of like what we're doing with this universe and where certain things go. So today we're going to be talking about Jurassic Park, Killing Bites, and BNA. Now, a brand new animal. So I know what you're thinking. None of these tie together. Well, they actually kind of do. I'll talk about where they are separately and then kind of talk about where they all kind of interconnect. So let's talk about Jurassic Park first. So Jurassic Park, basically in this continuity, in this universe's continuity, there is no Dominion, there is no Fallen Kingdom. Basically, what happened after everything, like the Jurassic stuff, the Jurassic Park stuff that's canon is all the way from Jurassic Park to Jurassic World. Basically, what happens is that in this continuity, after the Indominus escaped and wrecked shit, they just InGen just could not deal with another legal problem again, like that huge. So they just sold off. They just got sold off, and the owner of InGen now is Hannibal McFist from Randy Cunningham, Ninth Grade Ninja, who wants to use the genetic material from dinosaurs for less than nice purposes. But yeah. So there's also another player who wants InGen for himself, and that's Seto Kaiba, who is also looking looking at other ventures outside of games. So he wants the InGen and all of its secrets, so he can start cornering the medical market. Because if you can clone dinosaurs, and if you have the ability to clone humans, you can basically clone organs and corner the market in organ trade, as well as, well, not organ trade, that's the wrong word, the medical market. And basically, you play your cards right, you can corner the market in eradicating various diseases if you can just clone organs. So Kaiba's kind of looking into that venture of getting what he wants from InGen. But the island itself, Isla Nublar, is still standing. But the main focus is Isla Sorna. In this continuity, Isla Sorna was just kind of left to its own devices, especially now that InGen and the Masrani Corporation have fucked off. It's now basically the world. Basically, Jurassic Park in this continuity, Isla Sorna is our Savage Land. It's our equivalent to the Savage Land. It makes sense, right? You would have. It's a place where dinosaurs exist. Like, of course it's going to be our equivalent to the Savage Land in Marvel Comics, or, Dinosaur Island from DC Comics. Currently, it's only been featured in only one story involving several characters, and now Lucy from Elfen Lied is living on the island as kind of a hermit, because she's like, there's really nothing out there that I have any interest in, so I'm just going to live here on the island, and no dinosaur's going to mess with me because they know I'm an apex predator. So yeah, Lucy's just, if you want to know more about that story, just go to fanfiction.net and check out the story, and check out the story from Jason Voorhees 2011's page, his fanfiction page, and then look up the story Savages. But yeah, so it's not just that, but like the genetic power has still of cloning those dinosaurs has been unleashed into the world. So that's going to play a part in a few things. Now, moving on to Killing Bites. Killing Bites is an anime involved. It's basically closest to the you'll ever get to Bloody Roar, the anime. And in here, we focus on one character, Hitomi. Hitomi is a hybrid of human and honey badger DNA, but they call her Brute Rattle. Probably because Brute Honey Badger would probably make people laugh and mean the poor woman to death. For lack of a better word, Hitomi is our universe's Wolverine. In fact, Jason, who loves writing the character more than he cares to admit to, has her saying bub a few times. Which I don't argue. I'm just like, I know, I know what you're trying to do here, Jason. I'll allow it. So, she is basically our Wolverine, and also the world of Killing Bites has been kind of after the events of the first season, and I think they did say a second season, but at this point we're just going to go off on our own story. At the end of the show, basically, she had a friend named Yuya who she gutted after getting an order from her father figure / one of the main antagonists of the show, Mr. Shido. So in here, Yuya is now looking for revenge. He is basically her Sabretooth. But in here, Yuya, in order to get revenge, has done some things that have been less than moral. In fact, like I said, he's our Sabretooth, but he also has a brilliant mind to him. He's not like a savage monster. Although you could make the argument that Creed isn't either. When I get to reviewing Sabretooth War, that will make a lot more sense. But I digress. Anyway, I'm getting back to Killing Bites. Essentially, Hitomi is now, since the Killing Bites tournament is over, she's now been sent by Mr. Shido's personal agent, to deal with other problems outside of, the norm, to deal with situations that need to be handled, shall we say, quietly. But that's the thing. We also have, again, going back to Yuya. Yuya, after nearly dying, was discovered by Chase Young from Shaolin Showdown, and he became his apprentice, like his student, one of his prime students. But also, in working with Chase, he met another person who I'm not going to disclose, but basically, that person who Chase introduced him to is now like Yuya's secret contact, and is also the person responsible for making Yuya what is called a Theranthrope in the world of Killing Bites, basically hybrids of humans with animal DNA. But it's not animal DNA that he got augmented with. It was dinosaur DNA. Yep, going back to, like I said, genetic power is out. The genetic power of InGen is out there, and now in certain people's hands. And Yuya goes by another name, Brute Indominus. Yeah, he has basically spliced himself with the DNA of the Indominus Rex. So he's bigger, he's faster, he also can camouflage, and he just wants to make, he basically was all in on Chase Young's whole thing of there was a whole story arc involving a blood god and savages, but he was basically all in on all of this if he could just get his hands on Hitomi. So yeah, Hitomi and Yuya were friends, almost lovers, but now they're basically, in our universe, they are basically Wolverine and Sabretooth. So, keep that in mind. But, however, Yuya is capable of making his own monsters as well. He does have that kind of intellect, too. So, be prepared, because those two did show up, those two girls, if you've seen the anime or read the manga, there's two female characters that Yuya uses to get his revenge, but here they're not going to be a hyena and I think it was either hyena or raven, I can't remember, and beagle hybrid. They're going to be something a little different, so be prepared for that. So, the Theranthropes have, like, now that, we have genetic power from, that we can make Theranthropes from dinosaurs, there's also the matter of Anima City, from Brand New Animal, BNA for short. Basically, BNA, in our universe, is the Beastmen of the universe are our mutants. They are basically the mutant population of the world. It was in the early days of putting together the Infinityverse. Initially, we were going to have at the end of follow the ending of Starverse: The Forces of Evil, where, and basically say the west coast of the U.S. is now like New Muni, and it's going to be like our Genosha. But then we thought, no, let's just keep Muni and forget that whole season ever happened, or that whole ending ever happened, and just make Muni our equivalent to Asgard. So when Jason had been getting to watch more of Brand New Animal, he basically was like, hey, how about we just use them like as our mutants? Like, so yeah, so Anima City is our Genosha or Krakoa. Yeah. So I don't know. You can take that as you will. That's all I'm going to say. Making calling Anima City our Genosha or / Krakoa. Take that as you will. But yeah. So Anima City has made rules to keep the Infinity League, which is our superhero team, out of the city unless they're non-human. There are several non-human members of the team, but they have this very anti-human policy. So even if they're meta-humans, if they're human in nature, you ain't allowed in here. So unless it's an emergency, unless there's like a massive emergency, then that protocol is foregone. But like if you want to just come, if members of the Infinity League want to come in to Anima City and do stuff, they would have to have first off permission, and then only the non-human members of the team can come in. But now with the Theranthropes, these Zaibatsus who create them for their own personal gain have been taking interest in the rise of the Beastmen, and are now like seeing them as fair game. In fact, Shiro, the wolf from BNA, sees Theranthropes as like inhuman monsters. He doesn't see them like kinsmen. He sees them like, you are a sham. You are not us. You are basically homunculus of just taking DNA and whatnot. But will that change? Who knows? Will Shiro have a change of heart? Who knows? So yeah, like I said, I figured I'd connect it all connects together, right? Like it all connected together. That's why I decided to do all three here. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much this video of Into the Infinityverse. You guys tell me in the comments below what you guys think of it. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.